why the Island Boys' career died so quickly. The only thing I know about them is through like
fewer and fewer
people talking about it. I never actually really followed them that much. Whoa, hold on a second. I have the speed a little bit fast.
Tells a similar story. People have slowly been losing interest in these two rappers who have made respectable physical sacrifices for their career in entertainment. However,
I kind of always thought they were just problematic, and I try not to pay attention to that.
Hate on the Island Boys, we will make the argument that they were destined to fail from the very beginning. And the first reason is because they never had a decent skill set or product to begin with. When they first blew up 6 months ago in October 2021 for their infamous I'm an Island Boy rap, it wasn't because people were impressed by their ability to sing. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The video went viral because of how terrible the song was. The Island Boys were instantly judged as two talentless bozos who had covered themselves in tattoos, and as a result, people began to follow them for their stupidity.
God, what's the point in even wearing those shorts? They're just like, might as well just take them off.
I think they're entertaining, and I follow them because they're entertaining. I love to see the stupid shit that they say.
They were mocked brutally in some of the funniest TikTok parodies ever posted to the platform, whilst being used as a representation for how easy it was to get famous on the internet in 2021.
My goodness.
Let's be real. How long before the Dust Bunny twins over here get a record deal, sponsors, and tours? You don't think so? Remember this, bozo?
To be fair,
the difference between the Island Boys and someone like 6ix9ine is that,
that can happen.
Also got famous in part by his over-the-top ridiculous appearance. He actually has a decent portfolio of music to fall back on. People hate on 6ix9ine, but only in the beginning. He then becomes well known, people check out his music, and then some become fans after realizing that his songs are actually pretty decent.
Yeah, but didn't something else happen with him too?
Therefore, it's a solid growth strategy. On the contrary, for the Island Boys, people hate on them, then check out their music, only to realize that similar to their TikTok content, it's not worth listening to.
People don't find these guys entertaining. They're not entertained by them. Other than, oh, hey, these guys look like this. Oh, that Island Boys video was funny. What's happened since? Nothing at all. And they keep rinsing and repeating, and they're milking it dry.
I mean, it's kind of sad. They are trying. Like see, you know, they're in these videos, they're doing something.
Do this acapella Island Boys and people are gonna mess with it.
Without some decent art form to fall back on, they're unable to convert their haters into fans over time. Therefore, they either become even more hated or completely irrelevant. The Island Boys discussed this on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul, stating that the haters were actually fans because they were following everything that the Island Boys were doing.
They're really fans because really, think about a hater. A hater
like hate watching.
Sometimes more than a person that loves you. Yeah, and if
time.
they're hating on me, it's just because they really love me. Because I see the haters check up on me more than the love. So.
Okay. But isn't there like some kind of balance? Like you can't be all haters, right? Like that's when you get canceled.
Which seems to be a variation of the it's better to be known than to be liked argument. However, there are so many examples of where this doesn't really apply. There are countless YouTubers who have been outed as predators, for example EDP445 and Minilad, who are both very well known, yet receive almost no views as a result of people disliking them so much that the audience goes out of their way not to watch the content. Therefore, the argument is probably better expressed as you need to have an entertainment form that people remember as being impressive, whilst maintaining somewhat of a likable reputation, which the Island Boys don't really have. People don't think about them in the context of unique, edgy artists that put a lot of effort into their music. They think about them in the context of two clowns who are famous for being famous.
Do you think that that's part of what people kind of hold against you as a grudge, is that like your image is crazy and you're sort of famous, but maybe the music isn't necessarily the reason why you guys are so known?
Right.
One of the Island Boys...
You know what they messed up on then? Marketing. They could have like shown themselves being deeply into the music, right?
Going to state that the other reason they had so many haters was because of jealousy.
Just hating on me or whatever.
God.
And it's just a form of jealousy, either that, because I'm not really doing nothing.
Which is just another naive argument often made by narcissistic celebrities who lack self-awareness. Why are you so confident that people want to be in your position? Do you ever consider that maybe there's another reason as to why people hate you besides jealousy? The everyone is jealous of me argument displays a lack of critical thinking, personal honesty, and self-awareness, which was highlighted once again when Logan Paul would ask them about why they thought they blew up in the first place.
Why do you think you guys went viral in the first place with the Island Boy rap?
I worked my ass off. It's not even just the Island Boys. It's the fact that we went through so many obstacles, it was just bound to happen.
Now, it'd be a cheap shot to say that there was no hard work.
Well, they should have shown that though, you know? I think that would have helped a little bit. They should have shown
I'm
their
sure the
hard
Island
work.
Boys had to have put some degree of effort into their career before posting that mega viral video. However, as mentioned previously, they didn't blow up because they had been in the studio relentlessly for 10 years straight. They blew up because they were being laughed at.
You have that it factor.
Yes, I'm a star. Yeah, we do. We're the only ones that are talented in singing.
And this is one of the strangest
The only ones? Ooh. Okay. That attitude's never gonna
parts
work.
about
Oh
their
my
whole
gosh.
career. They've deluded themselves into thinking that they have musical talent as a result of becoming famous.
So basically, when I was locked up, I was probably one of the only people in the dorm that knew how to rap, that knew how to freestyle, but didn't care. I think me as a rapper, my music is underestimated though. Yeah, for sure. I'm a
Definitely.
good artist. I can sing, rap, whatever, versatile. I can make rock music, whatever.
Even going so far as to say this when asked about their future.
okay.
What is next for you guys?
We're rappers. We care about music way more important than a lot of things. We try to take over as an artist, singing, rapping, because I can sing, I can rap.
And this when Logan Paul would ask them a similar question.
What's your 5-year plan?
To be always top Billboard in music.
Good God.
Maybe acting if they let me with tattoos acting or something like that.
However, their confused response of always being top of the Billboard in music was certainly lacking in confidence, probably because at the end of the day, they know that with
Why?
their current image and skill set, the music they do produce could never compete with the top of the Billboard.
I don't know if that's true. I think they think that. I really do. I think that they think that.
Their look doesn't help them at all in terms of music because people just see them as this ridiculous character. And it's just unfortunate for
Well,
them, for the future.
they don't know that.
Right now, they're probably enjoying it.
For example, when they'd post the official version of their I'm an Island Boy song to YouTube, it's basically impossible to find a single positive comment despite the video's 13 million plus views. Thank you, Island Boys, you saved my brother. He was paralyzed in a fatal car accident. Luckily, when I played this song, he rose and clicked the sound to mute. Wow, you guys definitely have a hidden talent that should stay hidden. Have this as my alarm clock every morning. Been waking up 30 minutes earlier just to turn it off. Thank you, Island Boys. In addition to
Jesus.
this negativity toward their music online, they'd also receive a similar response during their public appearances. For example, they'd both attend the Jake Paul vs Tyrone Woodley fight, where the entire crowd would try and get them kicked out, stating that they had apparently thrown a shoe at someone, which they never did.
So the Island Boys just showed up. The whole place is booing them. The Island Boys are getting kicked out because they just threw a shoe at someone.
Additionally, in
Do they have a manager? They need a manager. They need a PR person. Like, they need these things. I think that they're just doing this themselves and they just made a lot of mistakes. They need someone to, like, yank them around and tell them what to do.
In November 2021, they'd be booked to sing at Club Live in Miami, where they'd be booed by the crowd after yet another underwhelming performance, at which point the audience would discover another reason behind why their career wasn't going to last for the long term. They were completely unwilling to take advice from more knowledgeable role models in their field. Going back to the Impulsive podcast,
Oh,
the
I
Island Boys
see.
seemed pretty proud that they had paved their own path after Mike would ask them about which rappers they had been inspired by.
What was your like inspiration? Like obviously you guys listen to rap music coming up.
I try not to listen to nobody because I feel like it betters my mindset.
Is that why you guys have such a unique sound?
Yeah. We don't listen to rappers. Nowadays, I used to listen to a lot of rappers.
Do you think you should start listening to them again?
That's what he asked. Who did you listen to? Who did you like? Why'd you like him? You're not making a connection with anyone.
No, because you're gonna try to steal their flow. They already made it. I'm not trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? You make it more being yourself. I'm not trying
Are
to
you sure?
brain about being yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys to an extent of not like being swayed by other people, but also at the same time, like the current winners in the culture act as like guardrails and guidelines for what you do with your craft.
Mike is 100% correct here. If they were to copy another artist completely, people will call them out as copycats. However, if they decide to completely ignore the valuable lessons and current trends set by the industry's leading artists and walk their own path without any inspiration from anyone else, they're just going to end up sounding like, well, the Island Boys.
Is that how you end up in a place where you sound like you guys do, which is so drastically different? Like I wouldn't even call it I wouldn't call it hip hop. Like it's not rap, right? Like what is it?
They don't even really seem to understand what their own genre of music is.
I was trying to go for more melodic sound. When you keep on rapping in the same
cadence,
in the same form, you got no flow. Like it's the same flow.
Monotone.
Kind of monotone. We go like you're very.
And going back to their inability to take advice from others, that eventually walk out of the Impulsive podcast after George would provide them with what seemed to be.
You know what? That's because they're being questioned. They're being questioned and they know.
some tongue-in-cheek yet useful financial
I feel like you would at
advice.
least take advice from these
forbid
two.
it doesn't go in your guys' direction, for real. I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest it in something. So you guys will never ever be broke again.
After storming out of the interview, an article will be released by HITC reading George Janko vs. Island Boys net worth compared after podcast feud, which put the Island Boys net worth at $100,000 compared to George Janko's net worth of $600,000. With the Island Boys being so offended by George's basic financial advice and the semi-accurate...
Man, listen to people who have been doing this longer than you. Like, obviously they have their own, you know, controversies, but like they clearly know what they're doing. They've made it. So I mean, it would be like invaluable to get advice from these guys.
idea that offensive things are just self-deficiencies that you're yet to address. Their emotional response
And they're
to what
just going
George
to
had to say
capitalize
is
off
also
y'all's
pretty good
drama.
indication that the Island Boys are probably pretty unwise and insecure when it comes to their financial situation.
Oh
You
my
know they're also
gosh.
insecure about their future if they flip out on a simple question like that. George didn't say anything offensive. The world is laughing at these boys.
No,
not
he
with them.
didn't.
I refuse to believe there's people this insecure when it comes to money in this world, lol.
Of
This was also the
course.
opinion held by a financial YouTuber named Graham Stephen.
This sort of confidence and arrogance, I do think would end up getting in the way. Financial advice is like not something you get offended about. I mean, there's nothing in there that should have been offensive.
Graham also reiterated what was said earlier
True.
about the unlikely nature of their career lasting for the long term.
A career like this could last you anywhere from a few months to a few years. We've seen so many people come up like this where they blow up big and then all of a sudden they do nothing. They can't carry that momentum. And for this right now, they're good for going viral. But I'm not sure if that could be sustained or if that could be translated into a successful career long term.
You know what? I'm a normal person, but I'm just going to say it probably could if you had people above you knowing how to deal with this and like making sure you can continue to be successful. Otherwise, like, yeah, this person's right.
Going on to once again discuss how George was probably making just as much money as the Island Boys.
I don't see anything here that would say George is making less money than the Island Boys. If anything, he could be making the same, if not more.
However, when this point will be put against the Island Boys on TikTok, they seem to share a differing opinion.
I'm gonna say it respectfully in the most humble way as possible. I doubt he's making any new money like how Island Boys are. We are successful and happy in life.
Which would be followed by another TikTok, once again displaying their inability to take the advice of others and their desire to walk their path of success alone.
But if someone's talking about my financials, I don't want to hear you. You're not the one that's making me millions of dollars. I made millions of dollars myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just me doing it myself alone, you dig?
Overall, the reason behind why the Island Boys
But that's
are
the
already on their way
problem.
out was summarized simply and obviously in a comment made by a YouTuber called Hello Yassine.
It's short-term hustling. And we've seen this exact same quote-unquote business model, I guess you could call it, being done, but this doesn't last.
Wow. I know that there's more recent drama on these guys. This video is a year old, and I know that there are other controversies they've been in. I'll try and look some up. I don't know the whole specifics because it's like, it's so cringe. But yeah, I can see why they failed. Super arrogant. Like, they were just being fed these lovely questions to bring their personality out, their, you know, ability to be humble, and it didn't work out. But yeah, this is a good video. I'll link it in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.